Hello, ladies and gentlemen. With the World Cup approaching very soon, I've decided to create another fantasy league. Now, I know I made a fantasy for the Premier League a while back, but I honestly never really get into fantasy for domestic leagues and all that go on across an entire year. Just because once I forget to sub off an injured player or something like that a few times, I just lose interest. But when it comes to international tournaments like the World Cup or the Euros, it's easy for me to get into it because all the matches are so back-to-back since it's in such a time crunch of a month span. So although I don't expect to do too well, I'll definitely be on top of it this time around. And I want you guys to get involved and join this league. As a special thank you for getting me to 50,000 subscribers before the World Cup, I will be gifting the winner of this league $100. All you have to do to enter is make a team, join the league. I'll leave the code right here and a link to it in the description. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter to stay in touch if you do end up winning. And make sure you have a PayPal account because that's how I'll be transferring the money. But yeah, like I said, the code is right here and the link will be in the description. The HR League. I'm very curious to see who makes it out on top. I know it's not going to be me. But yeah, in this video, I will be sharing with you the team that I will be using. Now, obviously, we still have some time before the tournament starts, so this is not my final team. I will definitely be making changes before the actual tournament starts, and still, who knows what's going to happen with injuries and all that. They're counting every single week. Also, cut me some slack. I'm doing this literally on the top of my head. I don't even know the prices and all that. I'm just making this team with you guys. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the forwards. I'm going to go bold with the forwards. I think I know what I want here. Kylian Mbappe is the most expensive one for 11.5 million. Jeez, I mean, if I'm banking on that World Cup curse to happen, I don't know if he's the main man to choose, especially for that price tag. Vinicius Jr. and Neymar are the most expensive Brazil forwards. No surprises there. But I'm going to go for the GOAT, the star man, Messi, as my first pick on my team. I hate to say this, and this could age terribly, but I don't think it's safe to choose Cristiano Ronaldo right now, just considering the season he's had. Now for the other striker, I'll definitely get some criticism for this, but I think I got to go with the Serbian player. Dusan Vlahovic is 8.5, but I'm going to go for the cheaper option. He's only 7 million, and he's been in fantastic form. Alexander Mitrovic is going to be my second striker, setting the championship goal scoring record last season, still doing well in the Premier League for Fulham, absolutely bossing it in the last international break for Serbia as well. I might be hyping him up a bit, but I'm going to have some faith in him to get me some points on my team. Now for the midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, the most expensive pick here. I'm gonna save some money and not go with him, although it's definitely a good shout. Bruno Fernandes, I feel like sometimes he doesn't excel to his full potential under Santos. Don't want to choose him either. A biased pick. I don't care. I'm gonna go with Luka Modric. I have to. Moram is my favorite player of all time, and he still very much has potential to get me those points on this fantasy team by either racking goals or assists. He tends to have those moments for the national team. I'm gonna pick him. Now for that other pick, I'm just kind of scrolling through this right now. Went to those cheap picks for the other midfielders, and Damsgaard seems to be a bargain. If Denmark are gonna go far, I feel like he could be one of those men to rack up some solid points. Only 6 million, that's really solid. He had some incredible moments in Euro 2020, and although he hasn't been getting the most playing time in the Premier League this season for Brentford, he still tends to light up for Denmark. So I think it's a solid cheap pick for the midfield. Let's move on to the other options. You know, I feel bad I haven't chosen a Brazil player yet, but the thing I worry about for Brazil is the fact that I don't know who's going to end up starting under Chichi. There's so many great options. Oh, you know what? Mohamed Kudus would have been a solid option for 6 million as well. If Ghana's going to light up at this tournament, I think he will be one of the key players to shine. All right, it's pretty tough to choose the next one. You know what? Another biased pick, but I actually think he'll have a solid tournament. I'm going to take Dusan Tadic, 8 million. He is known for his ability to get loads of assists, can get the goals as well. He can be a crucial playmaker at this tournament without a doubt. And that final player, I'm tempted to choose one of those projected golden boys. Musiala, Pedri, or Bellingham. Pedri's the most. I'm going to have to take Musiala now. That could change though, but I think I got to throw a German in the midfield. So after completing that midfield starting lineup, we got 2 Serbians, 1 Croatian, 1 Argentinian, 1 German, and 1 Danish player. So let's move on to the defense now. Dumfries being amongst one of the most expensive, but I'm going to take him because he definitely can provide up top as well. That could be very much beneficial for those points. And obviously if Netherlands get those clean sheets in a group that, no offense to the other teams, but they should be handling well. For that, I think he's a solid pick. The other one I'm going to take is Joao Cancelo. He's going to be one of those players that Portugal will heavily rely on to contribute this time. They missed him very much in the Euros. Unfortunately, had to miss it due to testing positive for COVID. But this time he's back, and I think he's going to be a key man. Now, looking at the other players, Hakimi would be a solid shout if you think Morocco will do well for his price. But the question is, will they do well? I mean, it's up to your preference, obviously. Let me know if you chose this guy. I think it would be smart to choose an Argentinian defender here because they're in a very doable group. But also the question is, like, who will be starting? I'm going to take Christian Romero for now. I might change that, though, because he's obviously a bit higher in price compared to the other defenders. And I just got to see what my budget is by the end of this. Again, I'm doing this all blank. Like, I didn't prepare for this video whatsoever. Now, for that final defender, I might change this, but I'm going to go with Rudiger for now. Like I said, it really depends on the price. So that's my current back line. We've got one Dutch player, one Portuguese, one Argentinian, and one German. I still don't have any Brazilian players in this squad, which is probably not a good idea. Who we put in the goalkeeper position? Brazil's quote-unquote main man. Who knows if Ederson will be the one to end up starting, but Alisson is one of the most expensive keepers. Sommer would be a great shout if you think Switzerland are going to make it to the next round. I think it's definitely a possibility. I wouldn't be opposed to choosing him. Or I might go to would have been Martinez from Argentina, but he's not in this. I think FIFA's still updating this game, though. So, like I said, I'll definitely be making changes. I feel like he would be a solid pick for now, especially with the fact that, like I said, Argentina are favorites atop their group. For now, I'm going to take Jan Sommer, but that very much could change. Now, of course, we still got subs. Don't worry, this team ain't over yet, and we have 24 million in the budget. Who's that backup keeper going to be? I got to go for someone cheap here. Looks like most of those 4 million picks aren't going to be starting. Actually, Sergio Rocher might. I'm going to take him. Boom, we got one Uruguay player in there. Obviously, I want to take Reece James, but it looks like he'll be missing the World Cup. I'll go for a Spain player here and pick Laporte as my substitute defender, which could very much be starting instead. We got 14.5 million left, but I'm probably going to run on this budget. You know what? I'm going to take Bernardo Silva for now. That means I have 5.5 million left for a final forward. No. We're going to choose a cheap midfielder and go for a better forward, I think is a better shout. Damn, Al Faraj is 4 million. Saudi Arabia, for me, don't have a solid chance, though. Hannibal Mejbri is 4 million as well. Lots of these underdog teams for a cheap price. You know, if we're going with Tunisia to escape this group, I will choose him as that sub option. So who do we have? We have 10.5 million left in the bank. So I can choose a very expensive forward here. I'm going to have to choose a Brazilian. I can't believe I haven't chosen a Brazilian yet on this team. Neymar, Vinicius Jr., who would you guys pick? Let me know in the comments. For now, though, I shall take Mr. Neymar Jr. All right, so it's a brand new day, and like I mentioned earlier, that was me just trying to assemble my team on the spot. And now that it's been a few days since I recorded that, along with a lot of the squads recently being released, here is my, not final team still, but definitely a more solidified one. Before, I feel like I had a really well-balanced team. Now, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of these subs on the bench probably are not the safest to utilize, so I'm going all out for my starting 11. I decided to put Mila in the defense. He was incredible for the Euros. He racked me up so many points in that fantasy league, so potentially could do the same, and he was a bit cheaper than some of the other defenders. So I took him and Gvardiol, who I have on the bench, over Rudiger and Laporte to save some money, and also, I feel like they're still solid shouts. Gvardiol was very cheap, only 4 million, and Milo was 4.5, as opposed to Rudiger and Laporte both being 5.5. I decided to go for other really cheap options. These are huge underdogs in the World Cup, Qatar and Tunisia. Many people are not banking on them, so these players were very cheap. As you can see, I got Bulman Koki and Hannibal Mejbri in there. Going for those budget options on the bench allowed me to afford Kevin De Bruyne, the most expensive midfielder in the game. So my starting 11 definitely has potential. Now, still, this game is not fully updated, so like I said, some players like Martinez were missing last time I checked. Maybe he's there now. Now that a lot of the squads have been officially released, FIFA will actually do their part on sorting this game out 100%. But here is my team. Again, don't forget to join the league. The link is in the description. The code is over here as well. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias as well if you want a chance to win $100 if you do end up getting first place. And also, regardless, I'd love to hear your thoughts on my team. Even if you absolutely dislike it, let me know what you would change. Anyways, this month's about to be so much fun. I've got a lot of content prepared for you guys. I am going to be in Qatar for the first half of the tournament. So I'll be there for the group stages and the round of 16s. And here is my entire schedule, which I have posted on Twitter. I'm hoping that I'll be able to record a video for each one of those matches. And then when I return, of course, we'll do a bunch of streams as well for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. So cannot wait for all of that. Thank you all for making it to the end of this video. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. I will see you all very, very soon. Take care. La Noche.